Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Confession Corner. I am your host, Vina, a place where Black adults are able to talk about real life situations, self growth, self actualization, and mental health. Today, I have a very special guest with me. I'm so excited that he is here. Hi,
Hey
Richard.
Vina, how you doing?
I'm great. How are
I'm
you?
good.
Oh,
I'm good.
thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that we're able to have this discussion
Of course.
and just be able to decompress and talk for like a few minutes. I just love picking your brain. Not even so much picking your brain, but just talking to you, even based off the conversations we had before. Just very interpersonal, very grounding. And of course, I love your energy. We here with it. So I want to let you just have the floor for a moment. You can talk about yourself. You know, what do you do? Who you are? What's your sign? What's your favorite food? All that jazz. Not
All
really,
right.
but like,
Yeah,
just get into you. Talk your shit. It's
Got you.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm Richard. I'm 29 years old. I'm a Taurus, born April 25th.
Okay.
I was born in D.C., raised in PG County, Maryland. Today, I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I like to practice photography in my free time. I like to rest a lot in my free time. My favorite food is, I would say, in between ice cream and chicken. And yeah, I just be chilling.
Oh my God. Be chilling. Richard, you do a lot.
I try.
You
I try to stay busy.
try.
Lately, since I left my job, so I was working at a job for 4 years. I'm taking a work break for hopefully the next year and some change. And I started that break in March. So I've just been like resting. I'm gonna start traveling soon, so I'm really excited for
Yay.
that. I just need this time to kind of just breathe and
Right.
recuperate.
Oh my goodness. Do you feel like giving yourself this time, do you feel like it gives you the energy to come back to work like fully replenished, or do you want to take like a different career path?
I want to take a different career path. So I
Ooh.
worked in like communications, doing like graphic design, web design, social media, and I used to really love it. But right now, I just don't feel the same about it. And
Right.
right now, I feel like in this time, my goal is to kind of just figure out what I want to do next, because the more I take this break, the more I just realize I don't want to go back. So
Right.
it's like right now, I'm just like, what do I want to do? I don't know. But it's like I also don't want to rush it. I just kind of want to wait and then see, okay, as time comes, I'll kind of figure out what it is that I want to do. But it's only going to be when that time comes. I'm not going to rush it at all.
You shouldn't rush it. I think pivoting, I call that like, kind of a pivot moment when you figure out, okay, this wasn't working, or not even it wasn't working. This is just something that I did enjoy, or the time has come to an end where it's time for me to evolve. And I feel like that happens every other year or years. And that's a beautiful thing to recognize, because some people don't know how to embrace that. They're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And it's kind of like, embracing the change, or embracing that you are going through a change, really grounds you in the idea that, okay, this is supposed to happen. You're not supposed to do everything, the same thing forever.
Right.
And if you are supposed to do the same thing, kind of, sort of, there are different umbrellas for that. So good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. How did you like your birthday? I know
My
it just
birthday was
passed.
nice. Yeah. So on my birthday, I spent time with my sister and brother. My sister lives in New York. My little brother had a showcase. He's a senior at Howard. He graduates next week, and his showcase was in musical theater. So they did a musical performance, and then he also did a portion with like the acting department.
Okay.
And he did a great job. So just seeing him on my birthday was like amazing. And then from there, we went to celebrate, and we went out to party a little bit, so it was always a good time in New York. So it was
It
fun.
is. New York be great. I have mixed
Yeah,
feelings about New York.
yeah, I love
A
New
little
York.
bit.
I know that's always a good time. But what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, I be having mixed feelings about New York sometimes. I just want to go and experience it, but at the same time be crowded. I be having like, I be claustrophobic just a little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit.
See,
Just
it depends. Like, where do you usually go when you're there?
Brooklyn.
Okay.
Went to Brooklyn a couple of times. And then I went to, God, I think I went to Manhattan. Manhattan and Staten Island. It's really different out
Gotcha.
there.
Yeah, I've never
But
been to Staten Island
really,
before.
Staten Island, it's cool, it's calm. They have like little shops and stuff like that. I really did like it out there, but at the same time, that really wasn't where like the excitement or whatever it was. So I'm like, dang, I gotta go where the people at.
Do you catch the train while you're out there? Or do you?
Yeah, I catch the train.
Gotcha.
I catch the train, and I caught the ferry, or like
Okay.
the what you call it, the boat. Bus.
Yeah, the ferry.
So
I think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
a ferry.
ferry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I caught that, and it was a cool experience. I liked Staten Island, but I think I like the inner city more. I like Brooklyn. I like where it's a lot of us there.
Yeah,
So
Brooklyn's fun.
it's real
That's
fun.
the place to go. That's the place to go. There you go.
Wow. Okay, bet. So next time I'll go to. I want to go when it's hot.
Yeah, New
I need
York
to go
in the
when
summer,
it's hot.
that's
I
the
need to
best.
go when
Like,
it's
and they have
summer.
so many black events in like Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. You know, I mean, the Lower East Side is fun, but it's not. You're not going to experience that black culture like you would in Brooklyn. You know, so I would definitely say when it's hot outside, the people are outside.
There.
You know, go
I went to
there.
brunch there. I want to say last May. Last May, and it was lit. I was like, "Oh, I'm coming here. I can't go here every time." But I was like, "Oh, this is the spot."
June, July. Like, I'm gonna try to stay with my sister for a few weeks, so I'm gonna just be out there, just hanging out. So I'm ready. I'm ready to have a good time. I'm ready
Yes.
to live it up.
So today's topic is on maintaining friendships while maturing in adulthood.
Yeah.
You know, just focusing on. We've had friendships in high school. How did they transition? If you do still have those friends, how do you maintain that? Or obtaining new friends while you're adult, and just figuring out what type of individuals align with you as you're evolving as an individual. Because we know, like, as we change, the people around us change, our environment changes, stuff like that. So we could get into it.
Okay.
Just more so starting off with, are you still friends with people that you were with in high school? And if so, were you able to maintain that friendship?
Yeah, so I actually have like a good amount of friends from high school.
Really?
I even have some friends from like elementary school, and like my closest friend, my best friend Janae, we've met like in 2004 when we were in like the fourth grade.
Y'all babies.
Yeah, so we were really young, and I really, maintain a lot of my like high school friendships because it's not. I won't say it's the easiest thing in the world, but it's natural. Like we just kept in contact, and we just really have such love for each other that it really doesn't fade. Even if we if we talk a lot in a week or if we talk a few times a month, it just kind of is really like we have created such a strong relationship with each other that kind of really, I guess that's just based on, what's the best word for it? I guess it's the foundation is just love and trust, So it's like I feel like that makes it easier for us to kind of like maintain relationships, If that makes sense.
I feel like it does make sense. I feel like my high school friends, I have high school friends, especially I have elementary school friends. I'm about to go to one of my elementary school friends' son's party like tomorrow. Like I was like, oh wow, who would have thought? Like I've known her since like the second grade, and I was like, oh wow. We love each other, and that's my girl. Even though we don't like talk every day, or I'll see her on Instagram, we have each other's number. We always either invite each other to each other's birthdays if we're having something, or if we're in town, having a cookout or whatever, we invite each other. High school, for me, I feel as if like my high school friends, I am still connected with them. I still have a lot of love for them, but I also understand a lot of things don't align with them, and it's not so much of like oh yeah, y'all, I think I'm better than y'all. I'm going no. It's just like I'm now noticing the fact of the matter that okay, we're not too unalike, but I understand certain things that I want and certain things that they still have or they still acquire, and it's like okay, well. It's not bashing or it's not like, oh, yeah, I got to get up out of here. It's more so the beauty of realizing it. I'm like, damn, okay, what can I do to make this better, to maintain it? And I still talk to them. We still have like a group chat and stuff like that. It's not like it's weird, hey, girl, whatever. No. If you want me at some place, like, I will go there and be there for you if I can. But I'm also aware of just making sure that I feed into a relationship of how much I could give to him, because I don't want to be neglectful to it
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, oh yeah, we've been friends since high school, but then at the same time, I'm not feeding into it the way that we used to,
Yeah.
without having that conversation first and be like, okay, we need to have a conversation about how we're going to negotiate this moving forward, because now I feel like we're becoming two different people, and I feel like it's kind of hard though sometimes. Though.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what you just said. I would say when it comes to like high school friends or just friends that I grew up with, it's like I do kind of see that a lot of our lives are very different, you know, like a lot of us live in different places, we work different jobs, or our lives just immediately after high school, we just went in different routes. And at first, you know, I thought that maybe that meant that it was time to kind of branch out. And of course,
my God.
I mean, in college, I did meet other people, make other friends that kind of aligned with what I was kind of like moving forward to with my future. But that didn't mean that I didn't still have such, you know, like ties to the people I grew up with. I feel like I've learned that it's important to kind of like enjoy those differences from friends, because it's like I noticed that a lot of my friends from high school or that I grew up with are my friends that I have fun with, you know, like we still have fun like we did when we were young. And it's like my adult friendships, they're are kind of like more boundaries as a you know, the older I got.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like the older I got, the more, you know, the friends that I did make, I feel like I have different relationships to them because it's like I met them at a different phase of my life. So I kind of enjoy the differences that kind of exist between friend groups, because I guess even when I'm with my friends that I grew up with, I feel like that youth that I haven't felt in a long time.
It gives
so
you that to go back as kids.
right,
We did this before when we was younger. I can see it.
It makes me feel good, you know. So I feel like those differences that kind of exist are important in ways, because they kind of keep you. They help you remember, you know. They help you feel. They're reminders of like why we are friends today, and it does get hard. I wouldn't say like a lot of. Do I have any friends with kids? I would say
a lot of friends with kids. Now. Everybody's having kids.
Like it's really interesting too, because I have a twin brother. I have a big family, and I have a twin brother too. So of course I consider all of my siblings like my close friends that I grew up with, and I've been able to see them grow as adults too.
Yeah.
So you know, seeing my brother become a father of two is just also like amazing to see. And then his girlfriend Claudette, who I'm also friends with. It's just like seeing them grow from when I first met them. It's been almost 10 years now. It's just like, wow, yeah. So it's really, it really does. But it's really impressive, too, to kind of see your friends just grow over time, because it's like you just never really know what to expect from, you know, folks. So I think it's like really important to kind of watch the growth of like your friends. It's just like a beautiful thing.
Like, wow, I seen you before. You was like this, and now look at you.
Look at you now.
First you ain't like chocolate, now look at you, girl.
Exactly.
Eating Snickers, like cute.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's because I know I've not lost. I've had connections where they're no longer within like my life and stuff like that. If they were friends, and some of them were like close friends too, and I've been through the grieving process of them. And of course everyone grieves about different things that they lose and stuff like that, but I do remember like feeling the grief of like losing a friend, not so much in like death, but just knowing like I can't be within your proximity anymore because things that you do don't serve me.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like that or had an experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you asked me that, because yesterday I was out and I saw somebody who I would have considered like my best friend in college, and we went to high school together, out at the club, and it was like, God, like what? And it's just crazy that we're talking about this today, because we were talking, and I'm just like, damn, we were so close. And yesterday, it's kind of like we were like in 2 minutes trying to wrap up everything that's happened in the past years.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like we used to talk so much, and it does feel sad. It feels like a breakup in a sense. Or
God.
Because it's like you know someone so much, and then after a while, it's like you know nothing about this person. And I had another friend like that. I actually had a few friends in high school who were like I was really close with, and we just kind of went in completely different routes, and we just completely stopped talking. And it's like it's a little tough to me. I don't want to say I lose respect for those folks, but it's just like I kind of have like there is something inside of me that just kind of feels like, damn, like what,
My
like,
heart.
yeah, because we were so close and then you just let it go like that. And it's just weird because a lot of the people that I did, initially, like, well, friends that we kind of went in different directions and we just kind of lost contact. It's like lately they'll kind of try to check in, and I'm just like, it's a little weird. It's just a little uncomfortable to me because it's like, it feels like a breakup. So it's just like, do I feel comfortable enough to kind of talk to you
Open
about
up
this?
to you
Yeah, I
again
don't really want to open up.
because it's
Yeah.
so the grieving process of losing a friendship is kind of like, damn. Like you said, you could be so close, even in like romantic relationships too. I do consider like people that I've dated like friends, like actual best friends, because I'm letting you in my world. It's not just so much of us just being romantic and stuff like that. We're actually like friends, and just seeing how someone could be so close. I say this all the time. It's so crazy how someone could be so close to you, if not like emotionally or spiritually, but also physically, to know like they're sent. You know what I'm saying? You know when you know somebody's sent.
Yeah.
I smell good, so I know people know my scent. But
Mm-hmm.
like, to be so close to somebody, to like know they're sent, to like not even remembering that at all, not even like being close to them spiritually, emotionally at all, even physically. Like, it's like, dang, what happened? And then I did have a moment where I did fall off with like a couple of friends from like high school, even though like a lot of people I'm cool with, I'm cordial and it's all love, but at the same time it kind of breaks my heart that the closeness isn't there anymore. And it's not so much of like a big ordeal where it's like, oh yeah, you did some messed up stuff to me, or we had like a big ass argument. It's more so of us just growing our separate ways. And I was like, oh my God, no, because a person like me, I'm like, I gotta keep everybody. I just want everybody to be meshed together and all in
Same.
love.
I do. That's the way I did feel, but some people don't want that, sadly.
And everybody
it's
can't
like,
come.
right, everybody can't come. And it's just like, you have to do what serves you. And even though things kind of like the memories feel like, damn, I want that back. Unfortunately, some things just are meant to experience at that time. And then it's just like, okay, now it's time to move forward because that was what it was for the time. And that's all it, could be. Yeah.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
So when you do find this separation happening and stuff like that, and then you figure out like, okay, this is like the movement that I have to go with, like this is my path, this is what has to serve me. How do you have those conversations with those friends or those people, like departing? I don't want to say like departing, but like it's kind of like the final conversation.
See, that's the thing.
coming
Like
out
for
of
me,
that.
we never had like a final conversation. It's just kind of like we like all of the close friends that I lost, we suddenly just kind of slowly stopped talking. And then from there, it's just like it was gone, And then there was like no work to like rebuild it. And I'll be honest, like I'm not, even in relationships, I was never good at like breakups, even though I don't like it was. I'm not good at like arguing with someone. So
I hate confrontation.
Yeah, I'm not confrontational.
I hate confrontation like shit.
Yeah, so I'm very like avoidant and like kind of like separating from people, whether it's a relationship or friendship. So I feel like I was yeah, a lot of them kind of just like like slowly vanished out. Like have there been conversations in your life where you feel like y'all have kind of like talked about like why the friendship wasn't working and why it was time to kind of separate?
I've had conversations where I've noticed that certain things, it's not so much of like, oh girl, you're beneath me, or boy, bye, like, whatever. But it, like, because that's be rude as hell. But like, it would just be situations where I'll notice that you're doing things that I'm kind of like about no judgment. Even if I am judging you, it's not gonna be like what the hell is going on. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, I'm realizing you're on this type of time, and it doesn't really correlate with mine. Not trying to say we can't be friends, but I need to be mindful of the proximity of people that I have around me, because I do a lot of things where it's not trying to say like I'm famous or something, but a lot of people know of me. A lot of people know of my works. They know that I'm prominent, in a space or in a community, and that's just that. And I really can't be caught up in certain things. And I've had conversations with people like that before, and they understood. It was one of my guy friends. He understood. It was kind of like, damn, but the reason we are friends is because we're good at communicating with each other.
Gotcha.
One of them, he's funny as hell. But like, I let him know that, you know, you could be within this type of space too. And I know you want to be in this type of space too. But at the same time, the people that you're hanging around, things that you're doing are not serving you.
Yeah.
And you could tell me shut the hell up. Like, you know, you could be like, no, it is. I'm like, okay, cool. But from you telling me what you want to do, and then you're still within like this closeness of people that you don't want to be around, or they're doing things that you don't want to do, it kind of makes me feel like, okay, well, maybe I just can't like force you to see it, so I'm gonna take myself and just move accordingly to how I'm doing, because me myself, I can't have that interrupt what I got going on.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because I don't want to sound above anybody, but sometimes some things
you
don't
have to know what you want to
correlate.
allow in your life. Like, even with my friends who I'm still friends with today, some things that they do or talk about, I just have no interest. Like, for example, I hate the hookah community. Insane. It's not my thing. So it's like, I'm very like, I let my friends know if they want to go out. I'm like, y'all go and have a good time. I don't want to go to that. And I don't think anybody
hella
believes me or
nicotine in
anything.
hookah,
Yeah,
like,
it's just,
goddamn.
it's just corny. The whole atmosphere is just not my thing. And it's just like, to me, I just allow them to do that, and I don't feel any like target against me. Like, you know, maybe I'm, you know, I don't know how they feel about it, but it's just like, I feel like it's fine, you know, like, because there are things that I like that, like, for example, I went out last night with my friends to like a dance party.
I seen that.
Yeah.
You be loving dancing.
Yeah,
I love dancing
and
with
I'm not
you.
even a good dancer, but it's like, I just like to dance because it's fun. It's, you know,
Your
I can
energy
be active.
be there, and you be sober.
And
Like, some people be like, oh, I gotta have
Right.
like 4. And that's what I love, because I'm like, I could do this too.
Exactly. And it's just like, knowing those like environments like that are environments that I feel like safe in, that I feel cool. And but a lot of my friends don't really like it, which is why I have like specific friends that I go to for specific things. So it's like, I feel like knowing which, you know, having friends for specific activities or events is also very important, because I know everybody won't like everything, you know. So it's just like, I feel like it's important to kind of have like those friends to kind of be, you know, your fun friends, or friends that you really can talk to about,
I don't like
you know, what's going
meshing
on.
friends together too much.
I really tried to before, but when I would try, it just didn't work out. So I've given up. Like, a long time ago, I've given up on like meshing friend groups. I mean, it depends. Like, for example, like when I had my escape party on my last birthday, I feel like, okay, this is a good group.
It's
like,
cute.
Even though everyone doesn't know each other, I feel like this can be like a good environment. I try to be very like calculated when I mix groups together, because I don't want any like upsets.
What's going on with this nigga here?
Exactly. I'm trying to keep it cool, you know.
I had something like that happen at my party. Did you come to the bunny one, the Playboy bunny party? I don't know. You didn't come. But for that simple fact though, I had a lot of my friend groups there, and I'm a very eccentric person. I have friends who are in the art community or in the music industry, or they're just cool ass people, personalities, influencers, whatever it case may be, or regular ass niggas, like whatever it may be. I got alt friends like who wear like their hair like emo still. Like I have a lot of friends.
That's fun.
And I remember it's a lovely guy, lovely friend I have, and he was in the middle of the party, and he's telling people like these bad jokes, and Rochelle is like, Vina, who the hell is this? And I was like, he had said something. No, for real. He had said something, and he walked away, and she was like, who the hell is this? Like, he was breakdancing in the middle of the party. I was like, I'm sorry. And he was like, you see that move? Like, I'll hype him up, because we used to work together. Lovely man. But he was like, yeah, y'all see that? I'm like, everybody's like, okay.
I hope he's not listening.
No, he's fine. He'll take it in stride. He'll be like, yeah, I did do that, you know.
God.
But meshing friend groups together, I do understand calculating it pretty well, because if you don't, it's kind of like, it doesn't turn out to be the worst, but at the same time, you'll get reactions like that, like, what's going on here? And it's funny to experience. At the same time, I've never really had too many encounters where I try to mesh everybody together. I kind of keep everybody in their own little tribe. If anything, if one person kind of correlates with a certain group of people, then I'll probably like have them tag along. But other than that, I don't really do too much, because like I said, I don't really like it too much. Kind of makes me feel like, damn, they don't like them. What do I do? Like, I get nervous. But yeah, no. So being that you don't have those conversations and then like it naturally just happens, how do you feel once, you know, you see them venture off into their own path? Like, let's just say you haven't seen, like your friend, for example, that you just saw like not too long ago, and catching up with them, you know, how does that make you feel hearing their current situation or where they're at right now and stuff like that?
It makes me feel very like, it was like a discomfort, you know. And it's like I'm also happy for the person, you know. I'm really happy that you're doing amazing things. I really congratulate you in all ways. But it was just like, oh, this is like weird. I haven't talked to you in so long. And I guess I'm just more so thinking about like, I mean, I know I shouldn't be thinking about it, but how they probably are feeling in the same conversation. Like, I'm like, did they feel weird too? Or it's like a friend I was very close to in high school who we just kind of like went our completely separate ways. And she was just, you know, I think about her and I think about like, damn, you know, what happened? But it's just like, I also try not to get stuck there, you know, because I know that just doesn't help anything. And sometimes I just wonder, like, I don't ever want to sit and think, like, what could I have done differently, you know, because then that just makes me question myself too much, and I just hate feeling that. But, I mean, I guess the base, like, the foundation of what I think is, like, I feel like some friendships are meant to, you know, expire, you know. If there is no work put in, then it's like, then that, you know, the time was supposed to happen that way, you know. And I try not to sit too much in it. Just like a relationship, I feel like relationships are a lot more harder to recover from, but I also feel like once that expires, you have to kind of let it go, or it's going to just eat away at you in a way, you know. And I try not to have things linger around that are too heavy on me, because I'm sensitive, and I know that the more I like allow it to kind of just sit there, the more that it will impact my life, you know.
Yeah, I'm sensitive too. I'm sensitive as hell.
And it's like, sensitive to me isn't like just you know, being really emotional about it, and like just it's like it can include a variety of emotions, you know. So it's just like, I know that I can be easily triggered, so it's just like I just try to step away from it, you know.
I kind of I check on people, especially like,
really, that's good.
Well, yeah, I check on people if it's not like me DMing you or messaging you, because like if people I'm not cool with, I don't like kind of still have their number, I guess. But like I'll message you, hey, I see that you're doing this, or leave a comment or something, or I'll just look on their page, like, because all social media is consensual stalking, for real, for real.
Like,
that's all it is. Like, it's consensual stalking. You put this shit up here, and I'm gonna look.
I had to get better at like messaging my friend, like texting my friends, because for years I used social media as my platform of like just checking in on my friends. And I feel like
it's like, nigga, you got my number. You better call me.
So it's like, see, that's it. I don't talk on the phone much at all. I feel like talking. I make that boundary like clear. Like, all of my friends don't really call me, and I'm okay with that, because I'm always like, I don't talk on the phone unless it's something like an urgent.
Yeah.
I'm like a texter, and that's like, I'm not even that great of a texter. Like, I'm somebody, I want to like meet up with you and sit down and talk, you know. Yeah. So it's just like, I feel like that's important too, to kind of know what your friends like. Love language is, yeah. You know, I think that's a love language in a way, and it's like, I feel like it's important to like you say, consensual, like stalking, being on social media. I feel like that's not enough, but it's like, if texting is good, then it's like, okay, that works, you know. But yeah,
I be checking on people. Throw that out there. I have to. Yeah. I just be like, I wonder if they're okay, and I really try not to. I understand like certain connections are not as close as they are, so I can't like text you and be like, "Hey, girl, I saw this. What's going on with you?" Like, what the hell? I see. I hate the small talk though too. I hate small talk. I hate it so much.
I just don't respond, because it's like, what? Like,
but then how are you going to get that conversation?
Right. Like, I'm just like,
because I'm not going to blatantly come out and be like, "Damn, you good?" Like,
see, I haven't lately. It's just, the world has also changed in a way where it's like, it has kind of like made, you can't really check in like how you used to. For example, there was one of my like distant friends that I would see post a lot of like traumatic things, and I'm just like, are you okay? You know, but then they're like, people in the world are saying like, that is like, if somebody is posting about, you know, a traumatic experience, let them just post. You shouldn't have to respond. And I'm
And
just like, it's
hell
so
no.
much different things. Like, what
It's
do I listen to? Like,
right.
it's like, what?
It's so many things
Like,
that go into it. It's
God.
like, okay, is this right? Is this like
Right. It just
respectful
makes you
enough?
feel
And you
guilty
just don't
for
want to say
checking.
nothing at all.
That's where I have grown to. Like, something I just don't even want to say nothing, because I'm like, what is somebody
No.
going through? Is it just like a social media like post that they just want to share that they don't want anyone to respond to? I don't know, you know.
No, I I'm really big on birthdays.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not saying not cool with you, but if we're not as close, I still say happy birthday.
Nice.
If I got your number, I'm gonna text you happy birthday.
Yeah.
And even if I see that you are experiencing like a loss, somebody that died or whatever, I'm saying my condolences and stuff like that. Even if I don't even know you, or like even like I said, even if we're not close, I feel like that's so good. That whole conception, like that whole idea is just, it just makes it so tiring. Then it entitles people to feel like, well, I just shouldn't say nothing at all. It's like, no, nigga, say something. Like, at least if you know this person, like, at least show some concern, or like at least reach out. Hey, you good? You okay? Just want to make sure. And that's that on that, because I hated that. I'm so glad you said that. Jeez, no, for real, because that shit's so tiring.
Yeah.
It especially goes into like dynamics of friends. I hate think pieces on Twitter. I try to stay off Twitter as much as I can.
Twitter is just like, you get on people just fighting.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what are y'all fighting about
They
today?
talk about friendships and relationships and how you're supposed to maneuver a relationship. Some of them are good, like, or when I say relationship, I'm talking about like friendships and also like romantic, or romantic, or just being acquaintances. Like, a lot of people have a lot of think pieces on it, and I'm just like, can we just get to the part where everybody's respectful and just knowledgeable of everybody else's value, because that's what it ultimately comes down to. People are like, oh no, you're supposed to be doing this, and you're supposed to do that. Like, who is this person? Are you respectful to them? Do they have some type of value? If they don't, respect them as a person and keep it going. It's a lot of things that come with being a friend, even as an adult too. I'm starting to notice. Everything's starting to click, Richard. Like, I'm turning all these ages. I'm like, oh wow. But I think growing up into myself and becoming more into myself now in this season, I'm understanding that everybody can't come with you, for one, and then also it makes it much clearer to understand like who you are and who you have around, because who you have around you is ultimately like who you are and reflects who you are and what you do, and that's important. We're about to be adults, like adults, like we're adults, but we're about to be like adult adults with like children and kids and like families and careers, like, and a lot of things are gonna have to make sense. So one of the things to me that have to make sense is who I have around, who I'm talking to. If I have certain people around, let's just say I have kids, who's around my kids, who's raising them, because that's the reflection of who I am, and certain personalities or aspects of my personality, my character, are going to be. And it's a lot. It's a lot to maneuver and to think about, because like how you said, you had to calculate, how to have certain friends around in groups. That's how you have to have. I have to have the mindset of like who you have around in your life. And it makes a lot of sense. I wanted to ask, do you feel as if like the friends that you have now, are you excited to see how they're going to grow and evolve?
Yeah, I feel like since I'm a little bit older, I've kind of been just watching for a few more years at this point, like the evolution of my friends. And I feel like, I'm sorry. But I feel like everything, like some of my friends, how they're growing is kind of like, okay, I saw that in your future. That's amazing. But then some friends are like kind of like outshining. I'm like, wow, y'all are doing amazing things.
Right?
And I really just love to see the growth of my friends, because it's just like you are my family at this point, and it's just like, I really care so much about you. You deserve this, and you have like worked so hard for this. And I just feel like it's just that's how it's supposed to happen. They're supposed to grow in that way, and I feel like it's just that's how that I guess that's how it's supposed to be.
Because I feel that way about my about some of my high school friends too, especially like the girl group that I had in high school. I am very proud of them and how they're maturing as women and just embracing the differences that we have and understanding that. And then also a lot of my college friends, because I do feel like people in college, ultimately, I mean, people in high school come along with you in life, and you see that, but people in college, like, you actually make like lifelong friends. Like, that is amazing to see. Like, I'm starting to see, because I was on the track team at Morgan, and everybody on Morgan State track team was family, you know, and crazy as hell, but family,
See,
and
and
nonetheless.
that's what I missed out on. Like in college, I kind of really kept to myself because I went to a PWI.
Okay.
So it wasn't at all like
The same experience.
Yeah, the same experience, you know. And Morgan, I spent a lot of time because my brother went to Morgan, so I would like, and Rochelle went there, so I would hang out there, and I just saw the different dynamic, you know, and I just
it's
was
lovely.
Like, why didn't I go to an HBCU? You
Come
know?
on
like,
to this side, baby.
God.
Come on, send your babies to HBCUs.
It just sucks that I really didn't. I mean, I feel like I got closer to some of my high school friends while in college because I just kept in touch with them.
Right.
And the friends in college that I did make are very like distant. Like it's like more so based around like work projects or things like that. But it's just like it's so beautiful to see how you created like a lifelong friendship group in college. You know, that's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I love everybody on Morgan State track and field team. When I got there, when I left, I love them, Richard. And even the people that I've met not on the track team at Morgan State University, like that was it's some magic there for real. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. So we came to the part in the show where I'm about to get in your business just a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
It's confession time. Just don't be nervous. Look,
oh my God.
Don't be up here shaking, Richard.
Right, let's see.
But this is just a time for me to just ask you a question, a personal question. If you feel inclined to or feel comfortable being vulnerable in this space with answering it and just being authentic with your answer. So my question is to you, do you feel as if that you're a good friend? And why or why not? And if you feel as if there are some things that you can improve on as a friend.
Yeah.
And so we could start. Do you feel like you a good friend, Richie?
I do feel like I'm a good friend. I feel like, of course, I could be better in ways. Like, for example, I'm not the best communicator. Like, I'm somebody who really isolates a lot. And especially when I'm, like, going through things, I am somebody, I don't really talk about it because I struggle with, like, expressing how or what I'm going through because it just makes me more emotional. And I feel like I guess a lot of times, especially when I think about my friend group that I grew up with, like we are very, like the group together is very like up, you know, we connect because we were like up and excited and happy. And it's like, I don't want to be that one that's down all the time. So I kind of keep it in. And it's like, that really sucks, you know? So it's like, I feel like that translates over to me not being the best communicator because, you know, when I'm not feeling always up, then I'm just shutting myself out from everybody. And like I was sharing earlier, I am not someone who talks on the phone a lot, you know, and I feel like in the beginning of a lot of my friendships, that did kind of make grounds for a lot of people like, why not? You know, what's wrong with you? And I feel like a lot of my friends get it now, but I feel like sometimes I just wonder, like, for example, when I hear that some of my friends call each other and they talk about a new show or something, I just feel like left out, but at the same time, it's like I made that boundary.
Right.
I
you
did that.
Did it,
you know?
and
I did that. And it's like, to me, I can't get mad at it because it's like I created that. And it's like one thing, too, most of my friends are women. So it's like to be the only male in a lot of friend groups, I kind of feel a little isolated at times just because it's like, for example, if it's like a girls trip, I don't want to go on that because it's like that's for the women, trip, you know, right. And it's like I don't want to get in the way of that. But, there's just little nuances in my friendships that I kind of feel like are like they have been created, and I feel like I just feel like some guilt sometimes, you know. So it's like I feel like I'm always there for my friends. One thing too is like I'm not like a gossiper, you know, so it's like I don't But I know some of my friends.
I said I love talking shit with you. Hold on now, like
some
I love
people like talking. And
I don't like judging people, but I like talking shit.
I don't like because I feel guilty about that. So it's like, and I feel like my friends. That's when I feel like my friends may think like, "Boy, you doing too much?" You think, and I'm like, "No, I just don't want to sit and talk shit." Like it makes because I feel like, okay, now I'm about to be hunted, or now I'm about to get like
I talk shit,
right?
And
See,
here
like,
they come with
I
my
definitely
shit.
feel like a good friend when it comes to that because I'm not sitting around talking about like like
I don't really say I talk about my friends, talk about people, but if there's like a certain topic and it's like a relative topic,
if it's like a danger, like so and so did something, like did you like what's going on?
If a concern,
but see, I would check in on something like that. Like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Because I would hope somebody does that for me. You know what I mean? So it's just like I feel like, of course, good friend, but there are ways that I could be a better communicator. You know, I feel like it's even in breakups. Like when I break up with my exes, it's just block. Like I can't even argue with you because
I think I'm okay with
too
two
hurt.
exes.
I only have 2 exes, and both of the relationships kind of ended like rough, and it's just like
Oh yeah, I'm lying. I think I'm good with one.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's just that
only
I'm not
one.
good. It's just like, yeah, I need to just communication is hard for me, and that's like I majored in communication in college, but they have no correlation, like no correlation.
Say, do they really? Does it really?
But it's just that's my thing. How about you? Like
I think. That's so nice that you asked. How about you?
What do you think? I'm just curious,
I think that I'm a very good friend. I do think I need to be better with saying no sometimes because I do spread myself thin a little bit too much.
That used to be me.
I'm Richard, if you look at everyone, one of my best friends told me, Yana talked about something, girl, you be available as hell. And I'm like, what you mean I be available as hell? I'm busy. She was like, exactly. Yeah. You be going everywhere, like everywhere. And it's not saying that it's bad, but like, I do be everywhere, Richard. I miss nowhere and everywhere at the same time. Like, I'll be in my house, I'll be chilling, I'll be in my space, like, cooling. But at the same time, I think some people perceive on like social media, oh, you're here, you're there. I mean, majority of the time, the spaces that I'm at, unless I'm by myself, majority of the time, the spaces that I'm at, I'm supporting somebody, I'm there for somebody, or I'm accompanying somebody for a specific type of thing. You know, it's never really too much of just like, oh yeah, I'm out and on the town, I'm in the streets, I'm outside. Like sometimes, I mean, I like going outside by myself, but at the same time, it usually is just me being there for people. And I do that a lot. I do it quite often, matter of fact. But I do need to understand that some things it's okay for me to miss because I want to make sure that I have time for myself. But also I have FOMO too because I kind of feel like, damn, I'm never anywhere. Like I always got something to do. Like one of my other big sisters, she had like, they had like a game night at their house for one of the other girls that we know. And I'm like, damn, I can't do that because I have to go ahead and I'm a track coach too for my high school. So like, I'm like, yeah, I got an obligation, you know, and I'm like, dang. And then Rochelle was like, it's fine, you know. I'm like, no, because I feel like I'm not anywhere and everybody's going to think they like, I hate them and I'm not there. And she's like, no one's going to think that. It's okay. So I think that I'm a really good friend. I'm very compassionate. I'm very empathetic, very stern sometimes with things. I try not to be too blunt because I can be sometimes. I gotta like reel it back. But at the same time, I do understand that I'm learning my friends as individuals as well. I've just went through this cycle of like learning and accepting my parents for who they are as individuals, not just mom and dad, like, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm stepping into the idea that, hey, I am understanding the relationship that we have or I have with individuals, and not just so much of like, oh yeah, they're my best friend or my good friend or whatever case may be. They should be fine, they be good, but also understanding like who they are, what they value, where they come from and stuff like that. Not trying to put too much depth into it, thought into it, but also taking into consideration that these are individuals that I have these connections with.
Yeah, and that also like evolves too as they grow.
Yeah, you know? It's not just me. I'm not the main character anymore. Well, hold on.
Yeah, in your life, you are.
in my life, I am the main character, but at the same time, like I realized that shit with my sister. Like I was like, oh, girl, you got your whole life. Like let me come and see what you got going on. Because at the same time, I'm like, damn, this is my little sister. But I've had a conversation with her before, and it's like, oh, this is my little sister. This is Fauna, and she's X, Y, and Z. She likes
Yeah.
these specific things. She's into that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just not like, oh, my little sister, whatever. She's 2 years younger than me. Cool. So, yeah. Thanks for asking me that,
Yeah,
Richard.
no, I'm just, you know, I feel like it just gets thought going and also helps me like understand more, you know, for my friend groups. Like you said something that just made me think too. It's like you said, even with, you know, having a fear of missing out, you also are just taking care of yourself, and you like to go outside sometimes by yourself. And that's one thing too that I really value, even with having a friend group. I feel like it's important to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And like, for example, with me, like I'm going out later with one of my friends, but before I go out, I'm gonna just take a nice walk. Like I'm gonna just walk
Yeah, I'm
around,
gonna
get
go
some
out by
fresh
myself
air,
after
you
this.
know, like to regroup, just to kind of, you know, I feel like it's important to have that time with yourself.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes it could be like some, because I was just in the house for days, because I don't, since I'm not working right now, I was just in the house for some days, you know. So, but it's like, all right, Richard, you got to get outside, you got to talk, you know. But it's like having a like understanding that time for yourself, and then understanding the time that you know can connect. It's always like you got to take care of both of yourself and your friend groups too.
Yeah.
Like never neglect yourself in the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Richard. We're
course.
going to close it. I'll have a hug. Oh, my
yeah,
God. Thank you
course.
so much.
Y'all,
This
that
was
was
so
fast.
nice. It was? Lord. But thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I really do appreciate you. And I love this. Thank you.
Thank you, Vina.
Thank y'all so much for listening. I am your host, Vina, for the Confession Corner, and we are out. Peace.